So, how does firewood turn into gas? And why can a car drive on firewood? Every second viewer of my channel asks me this question. Let's understand the basics of these processes. It all started with steam engines. Burning firewood generated heat and boiled water in closed containers. The water turned into steam. It increased in volume and created pressure that made the pistons move. And it would have stayed that way if engineers hadn't accidentally discovered that smoke from burning fuel sometimes flares up. It was this discovery that prompted them to make a new invention, which was called the gasification process. In 1840, an Austrian engineer Ebelmann managed to turn smoke from burning firewood into flammable gas. Basically, each of us intuitively knows that smoke from burning firewood is useless. But let's look at a burning match to figure out why this is not entirely true. Carbon, which the match consists of, is oxidized by oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, CO2, during combustion. This process is called complete combustion. But when a match burns, incomplete combustion takes place along with complete combustion, which releases useless gas. These processes occur simultaneously. Incomplete combustion is incomplete oxidation with a lack of oxygen molecules to burn the carbon, because the amount of oxygen in the air is limited to 20.5%. Carbon monoxide, CO, is released in addition to CO2. Look at the brightest part of the flame. This is where the CO molecules are formed. The difference between carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide is that carbon dioxide doesn't burn. Fire extinguishers are filled with it. Carbon monoxide is combustible. It is the second most common gas in the universe after hydrogen, and only 65% weaker than the methane gas we use to cook. Ebelmann used the incomplete combustion process in his gasifier, maximizing the conversion of smoke into combustible gas. So how to visually distinguish between complete and incomplete combustion? The bright orange flame distinguishing incomplete combustion of gas under normal conditions will change in shape and color if oxygen is added to the burning gas. Another 25% of oxygen added to the gas visually changes the picture. The flame shape and color immediately change. A blue and purple glow appears in some spots, and the flame becomes darker. The red and orange colors indicate the remaining partial incomplete gas combustion. In the third example, 50% oxygen was added to the gas. As a result, the red and orange colors are gone. There is a lot of purple instead. But the bright emission remains, indicating that the incomplete gas combustion processes are still there. In the fourth flame, more than 75% oxygen is added to the gas composition. The flame is blue and dark, with no red, orange, or bright colors, or even purple. It is safe to say that now only carbon dioxide, CO2, is emitted into the atmosphere, and there is practically no useful CO gas. Logically, in order to maximize incomplete combustion, it is necessary to reduce the amount of incoming oxygen and thereby increase the percentage of carbon monoxide in the smoke composition. For example, if you put burning firewood in a closed barrel and leave small slots for oxygen, you can see that the smoke coming out of the barrel will sometimes flare up if you bring fire to it. Even though the smoke begins to ignite, the flame cannot burn on its own, smells bad, and stings the eyes. Ebelmann managed to fully turn the acrid smoke into a beautifully burning gas torch by a clever trick. He made the smoke go in the direction opposite to the natural one, down through the glowing embers of burning wood. The talented engineer placed the firewood in a sealed barrel with a slot in the bottom and fed air from above through thin pipes. Oxygen descended through a layer of burning coals of a certain height, turning it into combustible gas. It was this method of air supply that maximized incomplete combustion. Downdraft gasifier, the very name of this ingenious device, reveals the secret of its operation. It uses a reverse air supply to the barrel, from top to bottom. This is what happens when smoke, gases, and water vapor go down through a layer of glowing coals. The CO2 molecules turn into 2 molecules of carbon monoxide, CO. The transformation process starts at 600 degrees Celsius. The ideal temperature is 1100 degrees Celsius. Even the water in the firewood turns into flammable gas at this temperature. It is this process that converts firewood into a combustible gas called wood gas or synthesis gas. Gasifiers installed on a car can accelerate it to 90 to 100 kilometers per hour.